are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Welcome to SoulSpace with Mem. Thank you for joining us. I'm loving watching you in that scene there. So tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Maxine Shea, one of the founders of Hemp Collective, and we operate out of the Byron Shire. And what we do is, I'm going to turn the camera a little bit, so I'm going to walk a little bit. But as you can see, we grow hemp here on, we've actually got a number of farms. This is one of our farms that we grow hemp for seed on. And what we do with that is we actually put some of that, a little bit of that back into our own product, and we only substitute with Australian hemp seed oil. So the products that we actually handcraft are here in the region, and we've formulated a range of hemp shampoo bars, hemp conditioner bars. We've got a range of soaps, as well as we're bringing out a pet shampoo because we've had amazing success with horses and dogs and all those types of things. And we've also created education courses and programs to educate people about this amazing plant and what it actually does.
So whereabouts are you based exactly?
So we're based in Mullumbimby. Our headquarters or our office is at the Byron Community College in Mullumbimby, and that's where our main office is, and also where we produce some of our product from. And then our farms are dotted all around the region.
So for people who are watching on an international level, where is Mullumbimby?
Oh, Mullumbimby is in New South Wales on the east coast of Australia, probably around about an hour and a half from the Gold Coast and 2 hours to Brisbane. But we're kind of in the Byron Shire, so probably about 20 minutes outside of Byron Bay itself.
Right. And tell me why you started Hemp Collective, because you've got your husband and your son with you there. I saw them before.
Yep.
Why did you start Hemp Collective?
Hemp Collective started from many, many years of research. So mainly my husband was doing a lot of research probably 8 to 10 years ago. So 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare pituitary brain tumour. So it's non-cancerous, but it is an adenoma, which did cause me a range of symptomatic problems because it's producing an odd hormone which is called TSH. And TSH caused a little bit of problem around headaches and fatigue, and there was so many different symptomatic issues. But we started looking into hemp because we kept getting told that there was nothing anyone could do for me and that it was purely bad luck. And me being, us being the family that we are, we didn't really want to take that directive. And so we kind of took our health into our own hands and started researching all sorts of things. We never thought we'd be doing and growing hemp in the region 8 years later, but we just found hemp to be such a phenomenal plant when we were doing all the research. And not just the seed, but the fibre and the flower have phenomenal benefits for everybody all round. And we were looking to start with food, but we didn't do food just purely because there's a lot of things that happen with that. There may be in the future, but we started with products that we're putting onto our body because we feel like that's actually something that we don't think about very often. We think about what we're internally putting in, but what we're putting on our skin and what we're doing to our hair is actually fundamentally important for human growth. And so we started off with shampoo, conditioners, soaps, and our range from there.
Yes, I have some here. So I've got the shampoo and conditioner here. So I'm a bit naughty. I like to keep things special on my shelf, and I should have used them by now. But I'm starting a self-care program. One of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you today was because I am starting a self-care program over the next few weeks due to the isolation. I'm choosing to focus on myself. So, I think that what you're doing out there is just such a huge need, and the awareness in the community needs to grow. And, I want to do everything I can to help you on that journey. So tell me a little bit more about your background in business before hemp, because I know that you've done some things with waste. I don't know. I don't know the wording, but yeah, tell me a little bit about your background with your business background.
Yeah, sure. So, Mike, my husband, and I have been together for around 18 years. I just got a caterpillar crawling on me. I don't know
No.
what that was.
No.
And so yeah, so we actually met in the outdoors. So we started in outdoor education, where we used to take children or kids and adults into the bush and teach them a range of facilitation skills. So working with teams, teaching them how to raft, rock climb, canoe, I don't know, sea kayak, all sorts of things. And I did that for around 2 years. And then I worked in community health, working with a community in Melbourne. And then we moved, I've had a range of other things. Like I've worked in revegetation and conservation when I first started out of school. And then we moved to New Zealand, and my husband was running a distribution company at the time. And I was kind of, I don't want to be part of that type of business. And so I started working in sustainability and the environment, because New Zealand had the image of clean and green, and I think it really, for me, it needed a little bit of work compared to Australia. But at the time, it was getting there, and so I started developing business programs, so helping businesses understand their waste and diverting it from landfill. And what they were so important doing was actually building communities. So we set up a community exchange type program where, just say you had a desk and you didn't want it anymore, take it to landfill, I would connect you with somebody in the community. It could be a not-for-profit or somebody who might be in to actually pick up that item and divert that to landfill. So for me, I've had a sustainability and the environment background for a very long time. And when we decided to do hemp, everything matched up. So everything we'd done all of a sudden accumulated into this one business. The other thing that I actually did was, I used to be a professional photographer for 7 years. So that was something more of it was a hobby, and then it became actually what I did as a profession. And then we moved over to near the Byron region, and we couldn't find any good job opportunities. And so that's when we decided to start with hemp.
So how has the hemp, like, I want to go back to your brain. What is the name of your tumor? Is it a tumor?
Yeah. So it's called, the technical term for it is a pituitary adenoma. It's just physically on the pituitary gland. And the reason why it is rare is because it secretes the hormone, the TSH hormone. There's a lot of people who have brain tumors. They secrete different things. So mine in particular, they don't know a lot about, because it is rare and there's not a lot of funding to actually look into it. So yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. It's a rare pituitary brain tumor, or adenoma.
And what do you do for your self-care to, even with the hemp products? Do you use the hemp products, or, what else do you do as well as that on your health self-care journey?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think as a business owner, we don't usually look after our self-care, and it has taken me many years to get that balance. And I think it's a real mind shift, and things that I've done around that. So obviously ingesting hemp, so meaning the hemp seed, the whole hemp seed, hemp oil, I should say. So starting back, we really looked at our food. So food is the main thing, and I've always eaten organic. So organic food to me not only is amazing because of the nutrition it puts into our bodies, but also what it does for the land. And so we started looking at our food a little bit deeper. So what foods were we eating? How could we actually introduce a range of things? So food was one of them. And then the other side of it is actually your thought process. So I started doing a lot more meditation, yoga, and self-care things like surfing or walking down the beach or doing bike riding. So those types of things were nurturing not only my body but my soul and my connection to the environment, which has always been very strong. Especially in an Aboriginal sense as well, because I've grown up around the Aboriginal culture for many, many years. And then also with hemp, and it's a bit of a controversial subject, but CBD was one of those things that passes through blood-brain barrier. And when I look at my scans from back 8 years ago to now, my tumor's only grown. So I've had a brain surgery And then the tumour grew back very significantly. So that's when we were living in New Zealand. We moved to this region and I started taking CBD and a range of other things, so hemp seed oil and all those types of things. And my scans are actually showing a very marginal growth rate. And so, you know, I can't necessarily put it down to one particular thing, but I think holistically, self-care, especially in a multifaceted business like what we do, is so important. And for anybody's business, actually, to be honest. I think we can get carried away with there's so much to do and we've got to do this, but actually it's all going to be okay. And I think our health is our wealth, and that's where we've kind of come through our journey.
That's so perfect in so many people's lives to know that, and especially me. I'm the worst person to, who does these. I've said it before. I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to self-care, like, because it is important to me. It is, and I think when something's important to you and you're not fulfilling that, it does create stress and this void that it never gets filled. And yeah, we moved here 4 years ago, and same thing, I've looked into the CBD products. I can't believe how they've helped with anxiety, but still I've got a long way to go. I'm not organically eating food like you are. I find it really hard to do all of that with a family of 6 people. And but yeah, I just decided just to start on myself. And I can already see, even in a week, or 2 weeks, I started a new yoga program. So even in that time, I can't believe the improvement just in my body and my mind. I'm so excited to do this. But yeah, I wanted to know more about, your self-care. And do you practice yoga every day? Is that something that you can get done every day, or?
Yeah, good. I think they're all good questions, and I think as women sometimes we beat ourselves up a little bit. But no, I don't practice every day. I do my meditation every day, and that's been such a challenge. You know, I've been doing yoga for almost 20 years, and then if try and get a regular practice was so hard.
Wow. Okay. So it's okay to miss a few days here and there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing there today.
Sure. So hemp has a range of uses, and I'm actually going to show you the fiber of the crop. So the stalk of the crop. Let me see if I can get in here. So as you can see, this here is the fiber of the crop. So this on the outside of the plant is how you make clothing, and on the inside of the plant is how you make housing and things like that. So housing, animal bedding. It's a phenomenal product to build housing with. So that's that. We're not actually growing for fiber. For us here, we did a bit of a trial, and we're actually growing a seed. And the seed, you know, seed, because it's the one you get at the supermarket or your bulk food store. But in here, in this tiny little, that's the hemp seed, and that's what we use for repropagation. And we squish the oil out of here to make some of our products.
When you say you're harvesting,
yep.
How are you harvesting? Is everything done by hand or machinery?
Yeah, we only have a very small crop this year, and we're doing it by hand because we're a little bit crazy. No, not really. It's because there's not a lot of investment in infrastructure in the hemp industry, and hopefully in the future that will change. But at the moment, we're just doing it by hand. But crazy enough, when we first did it, it's a really weird story, but we did 3 hectares, actually my husband did 3 hectares of hand planting with a Planet Junior seeder, and then we hand harvested 3 hectares of hemp with help from a few of our friends. It was insane. But this time we're only doing...
How many hectares is it again?
We've got 3 hectares on one farm, and then a range of different, so we've probably got around 10 hectares altogether on all the farms.
So in Australia, how many farms are there that are running like yours?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is there many in the Byron region?
No, there's not many in our region, no. There's a lot of people who grow for more broad acre, so where you're using the machinery and it's volumatic. In Victoria, for example, there are a number of people, but not as many what there is in Victoria, for example.
So for everyone who doesn't understand the THC, just to have that little conversation about what THC is and that it's not in your product or something like that.
Sure. So hemp grown here in Australia is industrial hemp. So what industrial hemp is actually it's a hemp that is below 1% of THC. So our crops in particular are around about 0.03%. So very, very minimal. So if people would understand THC, which is where you have a psychoactive effect. Now, you could stand here and eat or smoke this whole and probably feel very sick because you will be very full, but also you will have no psychoactive effect. So our products have, if you're putting it onto your, there's no psychoactive effect at all. It is a low THC crop.
I think that's what people are very scared of, especially with the media and how they portray products. And I mean, I know how many, there are so many benefits of using even the CBD oil and medicinal reasons. And there's so many people that need it, but they're so scared to even talk or find out, where to get it from or anything like that. But yeah, it's something that needs to change. Definitely.
Absolutely. I think, we've got 70 years of stigma to demystify a little bit. And, the hemp industry is really in its infancy in Australia. And I think we forget, even us as hemp farmers, it can be frustrating because, we're wanting to gain or to understand a little bit more. But really, we're living, breathing. I mean, we have our family, my son helping. And, even when he's educating, he came home and said, "Oh, Mum, someone said this is illegal." And I said, "No, we have a license to grow. It is low THC, and you cannot get high off it." And that's one of the reasons why it took so long to be legalized here in Australia. And I think it was 2017 that it actually became legal to eat in Australia.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very long, is it? You're a pioneer in the industry, which is amazing what you're doing. And, I want to do everything I can to help promote you through everything that we do. But yeah, I'd love to talk to you more about cooking with hemp as well. That's another conversation that we need to have for sure.
Absolutely. Anytime. I'm always happy to talk about hemp and products and anything related to that.
What sorts of things can we cook with hemp?
Mainly you could use smoothies, your breakfast, porridges, cereals, things like that. Is a brilliant question. I'm personally not a very good cook. So I'm just putting my hand up to say, ma'am, I am so here and so down to help figure out the creation, because I'm sure that you're amazing with that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Cooking for me is one of those things that I never question. It's always like, especially when I run big events when there's over 100 people and it's just me cooking, and it's a real test of my ability of what I can do. And I love doing that because I grow, and I grow and learn about myself. But yeah, I haven't done anything with hemp, but that's something that I would love to look into and experiment with, and especially for the health benefits. It's such a new ingredient, it hasn't been, I've seen some cafes making things, but I haven't been game enough yet. But yeah, we should have some experimenting time for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I think what it delivers also on it's got your omega-3, 6s and 9s. It's got, you've got your vitamin E and all your fibers, protein. So there's so much actually in the hemp seed that I think, you know, that needs to be explored. And I love innovation around hemp, and there's so many cool things happening. It's exciting to see where the industry is going to come, not only on a food level, but also on an industry level.
Yeah, so you're doing a great thing, and you've got to keep going with what you're doing and keep educating people. I know you've got the community space at Mullumbimby, where you do a lot of your education there, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, we do. It's mainly a community service that we're running, but we've had amazing feedback with our courses. But for us, it's just a matter of time. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's important for people to know what to do with it. So I'm actually going to come back to your question about using it for food, because, I mean, I probably haven't experimented enough because I just shove it raw in all my unhappy stuff that's a bit odd. So for me, I love hemp seeds. I think they taste amazing. So yeah, it'd be great to see.
Can you eat it just like that? Can you eat it straight off the plant?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you're eating it. You're eating now. Oh, that's cool. I am going to come out there one day, bring the cameras out there, and we'll do some real cooking. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. It'd be amazing.
Oh, we would so love to have you out here. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, so when this isolation is over, yeah, we'll be ready to go. We'll do it.
Absolutely.
And I look forward in the future as well. I look forward to running workshops or retreats where you can come and share your knowledge, experience, and all your information, especially about your self-care, because I think a lot of women are struggling, you know, with the way society's going and just how busy we are. You know, my mission now is just to try and help people to focus on their self-care and be able to run their businesses as well at the same time. But thank you for joining us today. And I hope that we see you again soon.
Absolutely. Ma'am, you're doing an amazing job, and keep up the awesome work. And thanks so much for having us on today. And I wish you good luck in your journey, and always happy to talk about self-care, because we're always still evolving with it.
Definitely evolving and grow together, you know, and working together is the main thing, isn't it? So thank you, darling, and we'll talk soon. We'll get a retreat happening.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thanks, darling. Bye.